Every day, our environment is undergoing changes. Changes that impact and affect our world. Global warming, climate change, environmental pollution and degradation, desert encroachment and flooding are daily destroying our world and making it unsafe for habitation. How do we cope with these changes? How do we improve the quality of life through our environment? These and many more environment issues will occupy us weekly on Environment Today.
It's imperative that people comply with laid down environmental laws if we must enjoy the benefits of a clean and healthy environment. But there are certain habits which are outrightly unfriendly to the environment.
Join Nkoli Omodu on Africa Independent Television AIT as we take an incisive and in-depth look at our environment. Environment Today, creating a better and safe environment for the world.
Professionals in the built environment sector are seeking ways of ending building collapse cases in the country, while also promoting good health, well-being and fitness among practitioners. Those who spoke to Environment Today under the aegis of Building Collapse Prevention Guild, BCPG, said while they are striving hard to ensure that buildings stop collapsing in the country, they also need to take care of themselves, take care of their body to avoid body collapse while on site. Architects, builders, quantity surveyors and town planners, among others. These are the different professionals in the built environment sector in Nigeria. Sadly, many buildings have been put up in some Nigerian cities without their involvement, a situation many say has led to the collapse of some buildings in the country.
By the time we are able to institute a system where those who are on site will be superintended over by registered builders, I think everybody will be cautious and make sure that the right thing, the right process is observed on site.
The professionals under the aegis of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild, BCPG, have decided to go the whole hog to halt the trend, even as they want government to ensure proper enforcement of the National Building Code.
Buildings that are come to be in existence, even before the birth of BCGD. And so if they are structurally weak, the tendency for them is to collapse over a period of time. Because a lot of buildings were built without reference to the builders, to the engineers, and so you cannot vouch for them. So that's why you will see in Lagos State, part of the policy is to make sure that all buildings are certified. The essence is that when they certify all the existing buildings, from that certification, you will see the buildings that are already dead. Okay? Then you can now advise the owners to say, look, you have to bring this building down and build another one.
They have also put together a Health and Wellness Week, the first of its kind, to promote good health, friendship and fitness among built environment professionals.
Body collapse means that if you are not able to live a healthy life, then you will not be able to prevent buildings from collapsing. And in view of that, we are looking at three major ways of addressing health. Number one, we are looking at enlightenment. And with that, we have decided to do health talk. We've had various professionals come and give us talks. The second thing is we have looked at the diet. And the healthy diet would mean that you'll be able to eat food that would ensure healthy living. The third aspect has to do with exercises, and in view of that, we have organized 7 sporting activities. We've organized badminton, we've organized volleyball, table tennis, 100 meters relay, and football, and other activities. And based on that, for the past 2 days now, we have done these activities. So we've done enlightenment.
If we are trying to stop buildings from coming down, and we collapse ourselves, Body Collapse Prevention Guild, so the body too can collapse. We should take care of ourselves at the same time as we are taking care of buildings, because we have experienced quite a number of us professionals, some of my colleagues who, while on site, just collapsed.
The aim is to ensure that members of that association are well built. they are sound, because the job require you to be mobile. You want to monitor construction, you have to be there. You have to be at Ikeja, you have to be at Ikorodu, you have to be at Lekki. So if you have to do that, it means you must be very healthy.
Participants at the Health and Wellness Week were exposed to different health talks, medical screening, aerobics, and indoor sports activities, all in a bid to stay healthy.
Every day, our environment is undergoing changes that impact and affect our world. Global warming, climate change, environmental pollution and degradation, desert encroachment and flooding are daily destroying our world and making it unsafe for habitation. How do we cope with these changes? How do we improve the quality of life through our environment? These and many more environment issues will occupy us weekly on Environment Today.
It's imperative that people comply with laid down environmental laws if we must enjoy the benefits of a clean and healthy environment. But there are certain habits which are outrightly unfriendly to the environment.
Join Nkoli Omodu on Africa Independent Television AIT as we take an incisive and in-depth look at our environment. Environment Today, creating a better and safe environment for the world.
All right, on our interview segment, we spoke with architect George Akinola, who will be telling us more on the root causes of building collapse cases, what governments need to do to resolve the problem, and the effort of the Building Collapse Prevention Guild as regards the issue.
BCPG, Building Collapse Prevention Guild, is an organization set up by the 7 professional institutes of the built environment: architects, planners, builders, engineers, quantity surveyors, estate valuers, and land surveyors, the 7 of us. So that organization was set up by the 7, and we set this one up to ensure that we control our environment. You know, a lot of buildings are falling down, collapsing every day, all over the whole place, and somehow or the other, nothing in terms of legislation, nothing in terms of proactive action is being done to make sure that this is stemmed. So that's why we set up BCPG to control, intervene, advocate in the built environment to the extent that we'll be able to stop collapses of buildings. Whenever anything goes wrong, somebody is responsible. Is either somebody did not do what is right, or they did what they thought was right that was not right, or the person that was supposed to do the thing was not available or was not contacted. In the particular instances that you see your buildings coming down, you discover that most of the, no more than probably 10% of the buildings that are coming down, do you find professionals being involved? And ultimately, when you discover, when you probe deep, like in the case of Synagogue Church of All Nations, the building that came down, the 7th floor building that came down, number 1, there were design errors. 2, there were construction errors. Not the number of floors that were approved were built. They put on more floors. Lastly, the people that were putting up the buildings were not the ones trained for construction. A chemical engineer or one other kind of engineer that is not a civil or structural engineer putting up a building, a builder. But when you hear engineer, you will tend to believe he's capable. But that's a square peg in a round hole. He will not fit. That building came down. The same thing with the Lekki buildings, Lekki buildings collapse that happened recently. The same design process. One was designed, was built. More floors were added after the building had been capped. More floors were added. And the kind of foundations that were done were not appropriate. They were misaligned. Including even the design was not done by a registered architect. So you don't have registered professionals doing the design. You don't have registered professionals doing the construction. You don't have proper materials being used. You find design being compromised during construction. You don't have government controlling it and controlling the construction as at when the building is coming up. What you are writing letters to, as I usually say, is collapse.